You have a lot of interactions. A lot of people are going to come to you and share with you various pieces of information.
Yeah.
We all have our professional business life here. We all have our personal life. Hopefully we keep those things as separate as we can.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you get that kind of information, there are people in appropriate ways that you can share that information, hopefully toward the goal of helping.
Well,
and not ridiculing people or embarrassing them.
I wasn't attempting to ridicule anybody.
But you understand that that was the result.
Well, no, I guess it could have been.
I mean, I'll accept your explanation that that wasn't your intent, but at least acknowledge that that was the result.
I can see how it could have had that result. I don't know for sure that it did. I mean, you know.
It did.
Okay.
It did.
All right.
And now you've got a woman who apparently is having some difficulty in her own personal life, and she's sharing some of that information with you. Now, you
It kind of corroborates all the stuff that everybody was telling me that came forward to me and stuff like this. But I had heard stuff about this before I was even working at Chester. So I reported to the Jed Jackie, and I said, you know, what I'm hearing is that there's stuff going on in the basement down there, and people are walking in on them. And, you know, his reaction was just, well, you know him, he gets involved in everything, or something like that. And so that's all the reaction I got.
Did that
was last year. Last year in summer. The
Do you
beginning of
think that
summer.
he would report back to Ralph that an investigation of confidentiality to prevent listen out until we just know report it to somebody else?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
So you're saying, by your statement, you're saying that Jed took the comment and did nothing with it?
I don't know that he did nothing with it. I just want you to know that I mentioned it. And what I should have done about it is what you're saying. And so I said, this is what I told him last year that I was hearing. Now this year came and all this stuff happened. Now one morning I got to work and it was 7 o'clock on the dot and he was just leaving Chester. I don't know what he was doing there. He wasn't stationed there any longer.
When was this?
I want to say 6-7 months ago or something like that. So one of the first things I did was call up Jed. And we were talking for a minute. I said, you know, Jed, what was Pete doing here? And he said, I don't know. Was he supposed to be here? He said, no, he was supposed to be somewhere else. And I said, all right, well, he was here, and I don't know.
Does anybody ever report time of 7 a.m.?
It depends if they really want the person to start, sometimes they want.
Yeah.
It depends, so they don't interrupt the program.
Okay. All right. I report 7 too.
Can I ask you what you did with the information on the help before I came to these emails and spoke to you?
Well, what I did was try to advise her what she should do. Because I didn't feel it was my place to bring her evidence forward. I tried to console her and say, I understand you're probably confused because for the last 2 years, according to what you're showing me here, you've been lied to about,
what she thought was a relationship.
Right, and also things that he was saying he's a private eye and all this other wild stuff, Mr. Olivo. Bizarre things.
And your advice to her was?
I said, I think that you should, bring this to the principals or whoever your superiors are and see, what you should do. I mean, I didn't take a course of action myself on that particular matter. But the day that Pete showed up, okay, I just want to finish that part out, okay? And so I asked Jed, and he said, no, he's supposed to be somewhere else. Okay. But then we talked a little more, and I hung up. And then someone came in and asked me, are Pete and Daria having an affair? And I said,
someone came in. Where were you?
I was in the office in the cellar where I do the computer repair and stuff.
At Chester Ranch.
Yes, yep. And someone approached me and said, are they having an affair? I said, yeah. I said, I thought everybody knew that. Ever since I got here, everybody's been talking about it. And I said, why? She said, because there's a love note on the desk in Daria's room. Sorry, I didn't mean to use anything, but that's where we're at.
This isn't news.
Yeah, I just didn't want to implicate, I don't know.
This isn't news to us.
It's kind of a long story, but anyways. So I went in there, and she wanted to show me, and there's a note there, and a cup of coffee, and something else. And love always, Pete, it said on it, or something to that effect. Okay? So Daria happened to fall in sick that day, so she wasn't there all day. So I called Jed back. I said, Jed, there's more to add to this thing about Pete. I said, apparently he came down here and left some stuff, You know, is he supposed to be here? You know, what's going on? Oh, that doesn't sound right. Jed said, you know what, I'm going to look into that. And so he was going to come by and have a look. And
How did you get him down in his office? Is that where the switch box is that he'd be working in?
No,
He didn't know that maybe she would call him?
no, the person who notified me had a key to that room. And I have keys, but I didn't open the door. But
And who would have access to the room besides the administrator?
well, all the custodians and maintenance and anybody who has those kind of keys. One key fits all the inside doors, and they gave me one when I first got there too. But that particular day, I
Were
didn't.
you saying a custodian works in the room?
I didn't say that, but
But if we drew that conclusion, we probably wouldn't be wrong.
probably wouldn't be wrong. Like I said, I don't want to get.
And why
anybody
does
else-
somebody feel that they need to report that kind of stuff to you?
Because it's another technician, and that's why everybody was coming to me and saying about what they heard about. Because they felt maybe I knew something,
And now
or I would do something.
And now that we've had this experience, we know what the fallout has been from the email situation. If that occurs again, given your experience that you've just had, what do you think you should do?
Well, can I finish the story of that day with the note? Because it helps to explain what I'm going for here. So Jen said he was going to come and have a look. Now, somebody notified Debbie Bunches about it too, and she went and had a look or something. I don't know exactly what happened there. But,
Hopefully somebody might be watching you.
yeah, at least.
It's due to no doubt.
For God's sake. When Jed finally got there, it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something, and now he's saying he doesn't want to look at it. He said, it's somebody else's property, it's on their desk, I don't want to know about it, basically, is what he's saying without saying those words. So, when Dory...
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that, let's assume that all of this is going on and that we have some people who have apparently decided to complicate their lives. Was it interfering with you doing your job?
Yeah. Well, it was inappropriate, sir, because,
On what basis?
well, people are telling me that they've caught these people, in inappropriate
Compromising situation.
situations on the furniture that the kids play on, in the classrooms, and, some of these things that people are telling me are frankly disgusting. And I have a child who goes to OT, and if I knew that their teacher was doing this, I would lose my mind. I would not be very happy. If I knew that the teacher of my child was having some kind of sexual relationship in between classes or whatever. I mean, that's disgusting. That's absolutely
It's certainly
unacceptable.
inappropriate. There's no question about it.
When Jed decided not to look at this stuff, and it seemed that the thing was, there was some justification in it finally when the police blotter thing came out. And also Daria showed me emails.
What do you mean by that?
Well, Daria showed me emails between herself and Pete's daughter-in-law, Pete's son's wife. His son and his wife had been busy doing their own investigating to find out if the stories he was telling about being a private investigator and all this stuff were true. So she showed me all these emails, Jed said there's no proof of this, to me. And I said, yeah, but I've just had so much circumstantial evidence come my way. I thought I'd bring it to your attention. And you're right, I don't have any first-hand knowledge of it. But, here's this. And then Doria comes in and shows me all this stuff. And then he apparently had an episode at his house where he got arrested, and the fact was his daughter-in-law confronted him in front of his wife. And that's what these emails are saying. This is why I know this. And that's when he got angry or whatever happened in his house. And I know that, there was stuff reported about Pete having, pistols and stuff in his car. So, the arrest was justification, and it was a kind of proof of all this stuff that people are telling me, well, there's no proof of, and we don't know if that happened. So I just thought...
Made you right?
Maybe right?
Made you right.
You mean
Should they
correct?
tell people, yes, you were right.
I know I've been telling people that I'm right, but there's been a lot of people speaking about this. And it doesn't seem like a whole lot has happened about it. So, I admit it. It was probably the wrong thing to do. It was probably something that was, I don't know, not courteous, or I'm looking for a word, but so I admit there's
helpful.
well, maybe people need to know about this stuff. Maybe people with children need to know that he was arrested for child endangerment and for having,
Do you know the circumstances?
14 pistols in his house.
Do you know the circumstances of the child endangerment?
Yes. According to, his daughter-in-law, I do, yeah.
What did she tell you?
She said that when she confronted Keith in front of his wife, that he got angry, threw some things around the house, and lunged at her, and she was holding her 6-month-old child at the time. And then she called the police on him. Now, my children go to Pine Bush schools.
So it was an enormous family argument.
Yes. My children go to Pine Bush schools. Pete knows where I live. I've seen Pete's pistol in his car. And, well, no, I didn't. No, because at the time it wasn't on school property, but the car had been on school property. We were taking a ride together, and we wanted to, talk about that or whatever. So I didn't think of it as a threatening thing at the time, but afterwards I got to thinking that maybe he was trying to send me a message of some kind, just to let me know. I don't know. So I've been kind of nervous about Pete. I told Jed that he makes me nervous, and I don't want him to be near me.
So in order to help that situation, you decided to basically indict him publicly. Don't you think that might aggravate the situation?
No, this is already a public thing. I didn't make it public.
But you called it to people's attention. You chose to involve even more people in the information group.
People I work with and friends who have kids. I didn't think it was unacceptable just to let them know. I didn't call Pete any names. I didn't slander him in any way.
But you also understand the fact that it's happening. Our concern is what goes on in the case. What occurred has not been done.
What about my fears and my concerns about my children in Pine Bush schools?
And we need to address those.
How? In what way?
And we'll address those with you. But that isn't appropriately addressed by just indicting your fellow employees for any reason. You've apparently done something appropriately by reporting what you believe to Jed Jackie. We'll talk to Jed about that and see what he may or may not have done with that information. But somehow you've got to sort of back off from this and
I agree.
Point yourself as the judge, jury, and executioner for
yes,
other people's
sir.
actions.
But I wasn't trying to judge, and people can read into it what they want to, but it was really, just a link. There was no comment connected to it.
Just for your reading pleasure.
Yeah. But that doesn't refer to the specific matter that's on the
Let's.
Well, I know to be obvious, but that's a matter of opinion.
You knew exactly what you had an intention, and my words, okay? You haven't said this, but I believe you felt some satisfaction, some justification by doing this. That finally, here's an opportunity for you to kind of get back at it.
No, I disagree. I was pointing out the fact that what everybody's been telling me and what's been reported for the last 2 years is true. It wasn't to get back at him.
You got some
you can say
satisfaction
that.
out of
You
it.
can say that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, here is some proof, because Jed is saying there is no proof of this, and I'm getting picked on for stupid stuff. My bonus was taken away last year because I left 15 minutes early one day because my child was sick. And I try to do the best I can. I try not to do anything wrong. I really bend over backwards to try to do a good job. And people who are doing things wrong, nothing seems to happen to them.
But you're not aware of what happens to other people, just as other people aren't aware of what happens to you. And if I read your evaluation of what you did, it was more than just being 15 minutes late. It spoke about your ability to get along with your car. I fully agree. It wasn't just a 15 minutes late.
My ability to get along, I get along with everybody.
And why are we here?
We're here because someone didn't like a personal email that I sent from my house to their personal email.